My number one all-time game is Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and we're currently into the 4th edition, and chasing that down at the number one slot is ShadowDark. It is rapidly flying and climbing up that list, and I don't know whether it is going to get to number one, but it brings me on to this. So a few weeks ago, I covered Bloodstones, which is a classic Warhammer Fantasy Roleplaying 1st edition campaign setting that has been amazingly converted to ShadowDark. In the comments of the video and on my Discord, there was a little bit of a conversation then around Shadow of the Empire. Do they think I should pick this up? Because this is told to me that this is going to be your Warhammer Fantasy Role-Playing setting. This is a campaign setting. So if it is a campaign setting for Warhammer Fantasy Role-Playing, things I expect to see in there: Skaven, chaotic warriors, beastmen, dark, gritty world, interesting NPCs, gods, corruption, mutations. Has this book got some? All of that? Well, before we get into that, as always, let's just show you where you can pick this up. So it is available on RPG. It is created here by Fenris77, and it is currently only available on PDF. I do believe that a print on demand is coming at some stage. But so what it tells me, it's a 32-page magazine or zine here. So a little bit of details. It's a grimdark fantasy ShadowDark inspired by the medieval late Germany. It's going to include wealth of tables. Oh yeah, to be Warhammer Fantasy Roleplaying, we're going to expect lots of new tables and random tables. So it's going to give us 3 new classes, some new gear, some firearms, host of beastries, including rules for minions of chaos and mutations. Also contains 2 one-shot adventures set in the Empire. So before we get into the main book then, let's just start by taking a quick look at the one-shots that are included. So here we have Tomb of Gothus Redmore. He is a chosen Lich Master, commanded legions of Lords of Undead. His loyal lieutenants died by their own hand and buried to the side. So we've got this little it's sort of a one-shot little adventure. So it's 3 pages here, 9 different rooms that's going to culminate in a interaction with this demi-white, which is 4th level. So this is a 1st level little sort of tunnel tomb adventure, we should say. It looks quite interesting. So variety of little traps and encounters. 4th level creature at the end may or may not be a little bit much for a level 1 bunch of adventurers, but I guess you'll have to see. Warhammer, you are kind of designed to run away sometimes. What's it got? 20 hit points. I think depending on how well the players are getting on will determine whether that is a viable option to fight that. And then we've got this 2nd level adventure here, Storehouse of the Foul Tallyman. Fetus Bloat was the quartermaster of a foul, chaotic invasion some centuries ago. He not only delivered supplies to the troops, but also plague and death to the enemies, which made Father Nurgle smile. Nurgle. There's your homage instantly to Warhammer. And what's this? It is an 8 room sort of mini sort of tomb encounter type thing. No big. Oh, here's the big bad guy. Gelatinous cube at the end. A level 5. 26 hit points. That could be interesting as well. So there we go. 2 little adventures in there. So you can pick all this up. But let's just jump back and we'll just talk about the price quickly. What you're going to get. So in here, so what's it? £3.86 for a 34-page book and 2 adventures. So it's a bit of a steal. If you are going to pick this up, please do consider using my affiliate link. Say I paid for this, and what I do, any money that is generated on the affiliate link, I then put back into buying stuff to reviews just like this one. And I'd have a thank you to everyone that's ever uses my affiliate link. It's incredibly kind and nice that you do. Right, let's just get then into the book. We've got 34 pages to get through and an incredibly cool front cover. I like this. I think I've delayed it long enough now. Let's just get in and go over and take a look at, well, the book, but we'll start with the cover as always. So here we've got Shadows of Empire. It's a nice cover. I like this. It's just enough to make it a little bit creepy and give you an idea of what the world is going to look like. Inside cover, we have got some contents here. Not hyperlinked, but we're going to have details about the Empire. Then some characters here. It did promise us 3 new character classes: Armory, Beastery, Corruption, which you want to see, Minions of Chaos, and then Miscellany here. There's some additional writings by Sam Loyal 23 and The Wanderer. And say it is written and created by Fenris 77 here. Right, what have we got to start with? D66 people to meet. Always good to have random people. Let's just pick on 41. Herman Becker, a bouncer. Massive, bold, deadpan humour. That's all you need. Some nice, easy, descriptive words in there. You know what he looks like. You've got an idea of, you know, the ridiculous dad jokes, probably. We've got then a D12 caravan to build the world. So bright painted tinker wagons, sundries for sale, a mob of chanting flaglants, surrounded by a portable shrine to St. Gertrude. Okay, cool. 12 different things. We've then got 10 different folk festivals, because Warhammer does like its local festivals and sort of fates and things like that, like village fates. What have we got? Caravan of Souls. Let's just look at one. Each wagon contains a shrine to a god and a priest selling holy symbols and blessings. Revival meetings in silk tents. A solicitation for donations. Nice. Local delicacies. Variety of different foods to eat. Land snails in garlics and bourbon. I'll take the last bit. Guilds. There's lots of guilds in Warhammer. So we've got, oh, there you go, number 12, the Ratcatchers Guild. Anyone that's familiar with Warhammer is always, well, you don't want to play a Ratcatcher, but it's quite cool having one in the party. There's always rumours that they're actual worship rats, or they are rats. So, we could be seeing Skaven coming up. And then we've got some rumours of the Empire D66. So that's a good chunk of different rumours. The Canal Watchers Guild has put up a huge bounty on a band of halfling smugglers. Canal Watchers. Wow, a guild of architects and canal watchers. Bizarre, but funny. Right, so we've got some characters and the backgrounds here. We've got new backgrounds coming in. It does say, so we've got a merchant, a lancer, and a sentinel, which are the 3 playable classes here. And the other ones that he allows into his campaigns is the Seawolf from the Cursed Scrolls 3, the Official Ranger, which is free downloadable on the Arcane Library website, as well as the Pit Fighter and the Ras Godal Assassin. Additionally, there are life path systems, so it sort of stands out instead for backgrounds. So it does allow you to do a couple of backgrounds to give you additional skills. So, for example, here you could choose the standard Wizard Academic Wizard in here, going in between different backgrounds. Again, this is just designed to sort of flesh out the background of the character a little bit more, because Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay does this wonderful random background, because you pretty much roll everything, which, you know, and what you do and your career paths. Right, so we've got the Lancer. Winged Lancers thunder across the steeps, lances flashing in the sun. So this is a full-on mounted combatant. D8 hit points, as you'd imagine. So blunderbuss club, dagger, pistol, dueling pistol. So we're going to see rules for that. Who's coming up? Longsword, lance, short bow, and spear. So you can charge up to 3 times a day, which is going to allow you to do double damage. You can have a common riding mount or equivalent, and your mount's going to have some, you can take some of the rules from the Cursed Scrolls too. I still need to review the Cursed Scrolls. I haven't actually touched on them yet on this channel. Your mount is reliable. When riding a mount, AC is going to be increased, so that's good. What you're going to get, so you can increase your, as you go through your Lancer traits, a little bit of extra damage, attack, stats, as you imagine. You can use any rider-bearing creature as a mount if you get a natural 2. That would be good. Titles as well. It's always good when titles are included. A merchant, canny trader, deal doers, and resourceful quick talkers. Variety of different weapons, dueling pistols as D6 hit points. They're going to receive an additional luck token per day. And they can make an intelligence roll to understand a language they don't. 10% off buying stuff with a haggle, and they're going to gain some advantages on things like persuade, appraise, and storytelling. I did notice this, which is a pretty terrifying overpowered, I think, in the merchant talents. A2, find anything, make a charisma test. DC set by the games master, you'll find just about anything, even rare or magical. So you're going to get out of it with being able to set the DC of anything. But if they go out and roll a natural 20, which more often than not is a critical, they could just sit there and go, oh, I wonder if I could find a magical crown of +10 to strength. And you go, okay, and then roll a 20. You're going to have to work with your players with that one so they don't actually abuse it. Sentinel, which technically is your witch hunter, which is a great class. D8 hit points. If you're not sure what a witch hunter is, if you're aware what Solomon Kane looks like and how he interacts with the world, he's technically a witch hunter. So he is going to get Hunter's Mark, so they can pick one quarry, get +1 hit, +1 damage, and that's going to level up with the players as they get more experience. You can do a wisdom check to find out whether people are lying. And then once per session, when in the settlement, you can ask the games master if there's any cults or people to be hunted or bounties around, and a variety of advantages on things like sneaking, tracking, investigation, and delve and persuade. Some pretty good little abilities and powers, especially immune to surprise is going to be good. And you may have +1 additional quarry if you get it in the 3 to 6. Then into armory. So we've got the cavalry hammer, halberd, lance, variety of anything. Main gaunch is the one that really jumped out to me because this has got the parrying ability. When paired with another F weapon, so a finesse weapon, the wielder can choose each round between having an advantage on damage or +1 to AC. So that's going to be pretty cool in there. We've then got a variety of pole arms, new weapons. I'm assuming this is a problem because you can wear full plate bargains here at +5 AC, and it's not going to give you any disadvantage on stealth or swim checks. So I don't know whether that would be missed. I wouldn't be giving players +5 AC and no disadvantage to things. So I think, like I say, I don't know whether that's a mistake in printing or what. It's deliberate, but that does seem pretty powerful there. And I'll just say, which characters can have breastplate and which characters can have the access to the leather bardins. The firearms, interesting, because Warhammer does have black powder equipment. So we've got pistols, blunderbuss, handguns, dueling pistols, with a variety of different abilities. But all the black powder stuff has got a BP 1 or 2 here. And that is the random chance that if you roll a 1 or a 2, the gun might misfire, so you then go down to the misfire weapon down here. Some of them actually will do misfires on advantage if they're a fine or decent weapon. But yeah, misfiring can range from anything from a puff of smoke and no bullet to the weapon explodes and destroys, take full weapon damage. Brilliant. It's good. I do like these sort of like slightly more powerful weapons having a bit of a big disadvantage in there. Some additional stuff here, so new equipment for horses, magnifying glasses, and snuff boxes. Then into the beastry section, we're going to open up ideally with beastmen and 3 different types of beastmen, what they're going to be doing when you come across them. From number 1 here, nailing a mutant to a tree and laughing. Some warband names, because beastmen tend to go around in warbands, and what totem they're going to have. So here for number 7, so 3 human heads on a spear, eyes torn out of their sockets, replaced with black stones. Brilliant. The Gutterkin, I did kind of tease it at the start. These are your homage to the Skaven, which may or may not exist, depending on which campaign that you are playing. I don't want to spoil it. This is great. It's great that Skaven are included, and variety of different Skavens. So we've got 6 different Skavens to throw at the players over different powers, including the incredibly strong and powerful Rat Ogres, the Shadows, which are the sneaky assassins, and the White Seers, which are the magic users. It then points you back into the core rulebook for ShadowDark as well, basically saying, here are some other rat creatures you can include, as well as other weapons which are going to cause corruption if the players get shot by them. Then get a few things here which the Gutterkin can be doing when you come across them, and some signs in the towns and cities and outside to look for them. From things like, other entrances underground being blocked up or disturbed, and what you can do to prevent them from coming. We've got 4 freebooters here. Orc Mercenary, the incredibly famous Dwarven Slayer, which if you're a fan of Warhammer, this is the dwarf with the big ginger mohawk. It's a very famous Warhammer Fantasy career, I should call it. And then we've got the Elven Swordmasters as well, which again is another sort of really important sword fighting style and career, which is I say the High Elves sword fighters are. Think of the start of Lord of the Rings when they're all fighting in unison. That's kind of how I always portray them. Variety of different orcs, down from the little tiny snotlings here, all the way up to the grey orcs and mountain trolls. They're arguing they tend to be quite aggressive in Warhammer, and also what are they doing? So howling for your blood, having a lovely punch up. Corruption rules, as you'd imagine, you're going to need corruption rules. It's Warhammer Fantasy after all, and corruption is the world being dark and dangerous, but corruption slowly corrupts players and turns them to the side of chaos. And we've got all the rules in here on gaining corruption. If you gain too much corruption, you then get mutations, and it might be a physical or mental issue. But also it has got the wonderful rule here, the Dark Pact rule, which is included in the main Warhammer, and that is if you fail a roll, you can take 1 corruption point and do a re-roll. It's included in here. Brilliant. I'm glad that's in here as well. You can remove corruption. Vaguely, it is going to be very difficult, and it's really up to the games master to come across how that is going to work. We've then got some minions of chaos here, so starting with the Chaos Champion and Chaos Sorcerers, and then some random mutations off a D66 again. You can either use this for corrupting players, but this is really designed to sort of use alongside making your Chaos Champions or Chaos Sorcerers a little bit more unique. Then into looking at demons, we've got 8 different demons to throw at players. They're all around about level 4, level 5. So it's going to be, don't involve these too early on, or if you're going to, just possibly have one. We've then got the Dark Crystal here, which is a black crystal made of pure magic that is very corruptive. It's going to allow people to do stronger additional magic, but being around it is going to corrupt the players. Some variety of rules here for incendiary and bombs and explosive devices. And then Warhammer wouldn't be Warhammer without gods. And then we've got 9 different gods with the spheres that they follow, as well as the sort of people that worship those gods. Disease, it's a dark, grimy world in Warhammer, and people can just catch diseases and die and lose their characters. And it's in here, which is really good. Yeah, you do get a chance to make a con check to not succumb to the disease, and it will give you how many tests you need to pass, and then the impact of what happens. Things like reducing your con by 1d3 and suffer 1d6 hit points. You only regain a single HP on a Knights of Rep. You die if your con ever reaches 0. So you don't want the Black Plague. Actually, you're probably going to want most of these because they are quite horrible. We then get to look at Scarred and Mutilated, and this is a really good mechanic because one of the problems that you get with a hit point related thing is, you go down to 0 hit points, and if you survive, there's no real complication. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay has these wonderful critical hit tables and damage tables, and this really mimics it really well. So if the character goes down to 0 hit points and activates the death timer but doesn't die, he may also apply the following rules. The character makes a d12 con check or roll it on the maiming table to see what sort of conditions or permanent injury they may sustain. There is a difference between conditions and injuries. So both are in italics, but the injuries are in bold, conditions are in the same non-bold. Maybe there's a word for it, I don't know. And you'll roll a d8 for location, so be it head, chest, legs, or arms. And you might then, obviously, if you're going to go legs or chest, you might randomly roll left or right. And it can have things like, a cracked pate, a massive scarring, which is going to affect your stats. The conditions will go away once you are healed up. The injuries are going to need to be healed by magic. So things like torn tendons going to give you -2 dex. But if you get a sprained knee, so all movement checks are at disadvantage. So, but obviously because that's only a condition, that will go away. Sadly, now we are at the end of the book. I want more. Give me more. I'm really interested to see where this goes. I really like Shadows of the Empire. Does it have Skaven? Yes. I did kind of tease I knew what was coming up in the book. But for me, it does really feel like Warhammer, and it's a great world. If you're going to run this, because I think you should run this. You've got a couple of little one-shots to get going as well. For under £4, it's a massive amount of value. Even if you don't want to run Warhammer for ShadowDark, but you want access to the maiming tables, some sort of decent corruption rules, some mutations, some extra creatures to throw at your characters, Skaven, or gutter folk as we should call them, beastmen with random mutations as well. There's so much in here. What's it, what, $5? I reckon it's around about $5 US. It's an absolute steal. I think at some stage it will come in print on demand. I'm hoping to see more, because it's a nice teaser of what's coming. It very much does feel like Warhammer. I'd say lots of random tables as well. Obviously, you're going to need a world if you're going to run it, but you could just pick up any of these books behind me. Even the first or second edition books. Probably avoid third edition if you've never played Warhammer. We don't talk about third edition. I don't on this channel anyway. And that's just going to allow you to build on what's in the book. You've got the sort of template of what you need to do, and then it's just down to you as the player to go, as the game master, to go and create the world. But I think it's brilliant. And say, running it through the Bloodstones campaign, you've got lots of different things. I think, well, there's not quite enough in here, obviously, to run something through like the Enemy Within campaign, but there's a lot going, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. Do I recommend? Of course I recommend it. I wouldn't put the video on. I wouldn't be talking excitedly about it. I want this printed though. I do want to see a printed copy. I'm glad I've got the PDF. So yeah, this channel deeply recommends Shadows of Empire, even if I feel it should have a "the" in it. But then obviously they might get a bit of an issue with a copyright from Disney. If you are going to pick this up, please do consider using my affiliate link. As I said before, I did pay for this out of my own pocket. And obviously any money that generates with the affiliate link will go back into the channel. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on a variety of my different social medias. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.